You shared your story with me, and I'm telling it for you. This is your hypothetical revenge story.
I'm Cynthia, 26, and life has been surprisingly kind to me. I work at one of the biggest banks in the city as an assistant manager, and I'm next in line for a promotion. My projects succeed. My boss trusts me, and sometimes I stop to think, how did I get here so fast? People say I'm lucky. Maybe I am. But I think it's more than luck. I plan. I organize. I pay attention. And I try to enjoy the little things. Coffee breaks that feel like mini vacations. Walks home after work. Sunsets that I stop to notice. Life feels almost cinematic sometimes. Then there's Dave, my fiancé. He proposed last month. I can still remember the moment. His hands shaking a little, a nervous smile. I said yes, of course, he's handsome, charming. The kind of man who makes you smile without trying. People tell me we're perfect for each other, but I also thought, love isn't just perfect moments. It's trust, honesty, and seeing each other clearly, even in the shadows. And my friends. Oh, my friends. 4 of us. We've shared late-night study sessions, first jobs, heartbreaks, and wins. We have rituals, inside jokes, and a bond that feels unbreakable. But one person has always been closest to me. Lara. Lara, she's complicated. Beautiful, confident, the kind of person who lights up a room. Same height as me. Same skin tone. Sometimes we even match our outfits or hair colors. People often say we look like twins. But it's more than that. She gets me in a way no one else does. We've shared dreams, secrets, late-night calls. And I trusted her completely. Not just trusted her. I depended on her. For advice, laughter, comfort. She was my safe space. Or so I thought. Lately though, I've noticed little things. Glances that last too long. Comments that don't feel quite right. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe it's nothing. But there's a quiet unease I can't shake. A whisper in my mind saying, sometimes, the people you trust the most are the ones who hurt you. But for now, life is good. My career is thriving. My love is steady. My friends are loyal. I have it all, and I feel ready. Ready for what comes next. Except, I don't know that what comes next is ready for me. It was my 26th birthday. The 1st of January. And I couldn't wait to celebrate. Dave, my fiancé, had secretly planned a surprise party for me, with the help of Lara, and when I walked in, saw the balloons, the lights, the cake. I felt overwhelmed. Loved. Cherished. Lara had gone out of her way, stayed up late planning, coordinating with everyone. And for that, I was so grateful. She had always been my rock, my partner in crime. Seeing her smile, helping Dave make everything perfect. I felt my chest swell with happiness, but there was something strange. Lara, she wasn't her usual self. She moved slowly, spoke less, kept glancing around the room, and I noticed this. She kept looking at Dave. More than she should. I tried to shrug it off. Maybe she was tired. Maybe she was overwhelmed. It's my birthday. I shouldn't overthink it, right? Dave, on the other hand, was his usual lively, charming self. He was cracking jokes, mingling, laughing, giving high fives to everyone. But even something felt different. He was giving more attention to other guests than to me. And that was unusual. Dave adores me. He worships me, really. Could it be the alcohol? Or was it something else? Then came my boss. Oh, my boss. He had a gift for me. A car. Yes, a car. I could hardly breathe as he spoke. Cynthia, he said, you've been extraordinary this year. Your work ethic, your dedication, your ability to lead and inspire. It's rare. This car isn't just a gift. It's a symbol. A symbol of my confidence in you, my pride, and my support. And I couldn't be happier about your engagement. Dave is lucky to have you. I wanted to cry. I felt so seen, so appreciated. I smiled, hugged him, thanked him over and over. This was perfection. My life at this moment felt perfect, but perfection can be deceiving. As the night went on, I noticed that Lara and my boss had vanished. Empty spaces. Chairs where they should have been. I approached Dave, trying to hide the worry in my voice. Have you seen Lara? I asked. No, he replied, casual. Too casual. How about my boss? I saw him leaving a while ago. He said to tell you goodbye. Again. Something in his tone. Cold, I didn't know whether it was the drinks or something else. Suddenly, I felt a pang of loneliness in my own party. surrounded by laughter, by friends, by music. And yet, I felt invisible. I tried to shake it off. I smiled, I laughed, I danced. But inside, I couldn't ignore the hollow feeling that had started to creep into my chest. I turned to my other 3 friends, deciding to throw myself into the celebration. I danced, I drank, I laughed with them. But I kept glancing toward where Lara should have been, where my boss should have been. And every glance made my stomach twist a little tighter. My friends eventually came over to my table. "Happy birthday again," they said. I smiled and thanked them. My friends eventually came over to my table. "Happy birthday again," they said. I smiled and thanked them. "We're going to leave soon," one of them said. "Waiting for Lara. She's got something planned, and we want to support her." I frowned. "Wait, what? Do I have to go?" No. You stay. Enjoy the party. It's your birthday. Lara will handle the rest." And I tried. I really did. But as I danced, as I laughed, as I raised my glass, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Tiny things kept popping into my head. Lara's cold demeanor, her lingering glances at Dave, the absence of my boss, the way my friends had left. Little whispers that told me, this isn't as perfect as it seems. By the time the party was winding down, the emptiness had grown. The balloons, the lights, the music, none of it could cover the creeping unease in my chest. Something was happening behind the smiles. The morning after my birthday, I woke up feeling uneasy, not just the usual hangover kind of tired, but a gnawing feeling in my stomach that something was wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it yet. Dave was texting me constantly, trying to be cheerful, joking about the night before, but I noticed the subtle shift in his tone. Small things, delayed replies, offhand comments, and the way his messages sometimes didn't make sense. My heart wanted to dismiss it, but a tiny voice in the back of my mind kept whispering, "Pay attention." And then there was Lara. I texted her later in the morning, thanking her again for helping with the party. I wanted to check in, to make things feel normal. But her reply, she seemed distant. Polite, yes, but cold. Almost curt. And she didn't ask me about the party, about my gift, or even about me. Something in that small text made my chest tighten. That evening, I tried to shake it off and focus on work. But work didn't feel right either. Files I had completed were flagged by my manager. Projects I had been praised for suddenly had minor errors. Emails I didn't send. Documents I didn't misplace. Somehow, they were being attributed to me. I couldn't understand it. How could things go from perfect to this overnight? And the more I tried to piece it together, the more I noticed subtle hints. Lara asking questions about my schedule, showing up unannounced at work, Dave acting slightly defensive whenever I mentioned my friends. And then I saw it. A message. One small, seemingly innocent message from one of my colleagues that made my blood run cold. "Did you hear what Lara did last night?" it said. I didn't even want to open it at first. But curiosity, maybe fear, won. I clicked. And what I read made my heart stop. Lara, my best friend, had been talking behind my back. Not just talking, manipulating situations, planting doubts, subtly undermining me in ways that only someone who knows you inside out could do. She had access to my work, my schedule, my life. And she was using it. I felt sick. Betrayal doesn't hit slowly. Not like this. It hits like a wave, knocking the wind out of you. And suddenly every memory of her kindness felt tainted. Every laugh, every late-night conversation. Was it genuine? Or had it been a mask all along? Over the next few days, things became clearer and worse. Dave started acting strange too. Small lies, little omissions, moments when I could see him holding back. I realized, with a sinking feeling, that the people I trusted the most, my closest friend, my fiancé, might not have been on my side at all. The realization hit me slowly, like ice creeping through my veins. Lara had orchestrated small events to isolate me, to make me vulnerable. And Dave, he had been a part of it. Maybe willingly, maybe not. But the damage was done. And there I was, standing in my apartment one evening, staring at the ceiling, wondering how I had missed all the signs. How could someone so close, someone I trusted completely, do this to me? My mind raced, trying to piece together the puzzle, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. And that's when I knew. Life as I knew it had ended. The betrayal wasn't just a crack anymore. It was a chasm. And the person I had called my best friend had fallen on the other side, That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to let this destroy me. I would find out the truth, every detail, and when the time came, I would make sure the person who tried to ruin everything I had built paid for it. But for now, I just sat there, the silence of my apartment wrapping around me like a blanket. And I realized betrayal isn't loud. It's quiet, subtle, and deadly. And if you're not careful, it can take everything from you before you even realize it. The real damage didn't start at the party. It started quietly, professionally, strategically. A few days after my birthday, things at work began to shift. Subtly at first. Client meetings were suddenly cancelled. Emails stopped coming in. Projects I was leading were reassigned without explanation. Then came the promotion list. I remember staring at my screen, scrolling slowly, my heart beating faster with every name I passed. My name wasn't there. I refreshed the page. Once, twice, 3 times. Still nothing. I felt sick. I was next in line. Everyone knew it. My boss had said it himself publicly. So what had changed? That same afternoon, a client I had worked with for over a year called me. His tone was distant, professional, cold. He said, "We've decided to move in another direction." I didn't understand. None of this made sense. That night, I couldn't sleep. So I started digging. The next morning, I went straight to my boss's office. I didn't go in angry. I went in broken. I cried. I asked him what I had done wrong. I told him I didn't understand what was happening, why clients were disappearing, why my name had been removed from the promotion list. He didn't look surprised. He looked disappointed. Then he said the words that changed everything. "Cynthia." Lara came to me. I froze. He told me she had warned him about me, that I had been scamming clients, that I had been sleeping with clients for favors and money, that I had been badmouthing him, telling people I was coming for his position. I laughed at first. Not because it was funny, but because it was impossible. I told him there was no way, that it was a lie, that Lara was my best friend. He sighed. Then he said, "She came with evidence, screenshots, voice notes, videos, carefully curated and perfectly timed. Evidence that made it look like I was flirting with my boss, impersonating his girlfriend, making inappropriate jokes." He told me Lara said I admitted everything to her, that I had told her I was manipulating people to get ahead. He said he had no choice. He had to protect himself, the company and the brand. I felt my chest cave in. Then he said one last thing casually, like an afterthought. "And she also mentioned, your fiance's ending things." I couldn't breathe. I left the office numb. With the promotion gone, I had no reputation and fiance. I felt empty. That night, I went to a bar. Alone. I didn't drink to forget. I drank to think. Halfway through my second drink, I thought of Mary, the soft one in our group, the sweet one, the one who hated conflict. I called her, and to my surprise, she came fast. She hugged me, listened, said very little, too little. I noticed her hesitating before responding, watching me too closely, holding back, and that's when I knew Mary knew something. So I changed tactics. I smiled, told her I was fine, ordered shots. 1 turned into 3, 3 into 5. And knowing how light-headed Mary is, I made sure she was tipsy. Then I asked casually, "What's going on with Lara and Dave?" Mary frowned. "Dave? Who's Dave?" I laughed. "My fiancé Dave." Her face changed, then she laughed and whispered slowly. She said, "Lara told him you were sleeping with your boss." My stomach dropped. She said Lara showed him evidence, told him the company was investigating, and when he wanted to come confront me and say his mind, Lara told him to stop and wait for her to ruin me, and they can get everything I have and split it. Mary said Lara told him she would make sure I got fired, that I needed to learn not to mess with people's feelings. I felt cold. Then Mary said something that broke me completely. I thought it was bullshit, but Lara was so convincing. She pulled out her phone and showed me everything, and suddenly I remembered the day Lara and I were joking, talking about my boss, his Spanish girlfriend, her accent. I remembered laughing and pretending to imitate her voice, saying playful, stupid things. Lara had recorded it, cut it, edited it, reframed it. She turned a joke into a weapon. I sat there, frozen. My best friend didn't just betray me. She designed my destruction, and Dave believed her. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I went quiet, because when betrayal is this calculated, survival becomes strategy. I didn't confront Lara. I didn't call Dave. I didn't defend myself to anyone, because I knew doing that would only play into her hands. I had to do something far more dangerous. So, I went quiet. I showed up to work every day. I smiled. I answered my emails. I led meetings. I acted normal. But inside, I was paying attention to every glance, every message, every little slip. I stopped over-explaining. I stopped begging to be believed. Instead, I watched, and I started building a timeline. Late one night, I sat on my bed, replaying the voice notes Mary had shown me. Over and over again. Something felt wrong. The background noise didn't match where I'd been that day. The timestamp didn't line up with my phone's location history. So I checked my backups. And there it was. The original conversation. Unedited. Armless. Perfectly timed stamped .comma. Nothing inappropriate. Nothing suggestive. Nothing even close to what they were accusing me of. Lara had spliced it. She had edited it, twisted it, cut pieces out and stitched others together. She made it sound like I was saying things I had never said. And that was the first crack in her perfect little story. Lara had one weakness. She loved being needed. She loved the feeling of control. So I gave her exactly that. I texted her, "I don't know what happened, but everything is falling apart." She replied instantly. She comforted me, told me to stay strong, said things like, "I'm here for you, and you'll get through this, and it's just a phase." And then, she slipped. "Just a little," she said. "I know Dave is leaving you, but it's okay. You'll find someone better." My heart dropped, because I had never told Lara that Dave was leaving me. Not once. And in that moment I knew. She knew too much. I didn't screenshot the chat yet. I didn't confront her. I let her talk. I let her feel untouchable. My next move was subtle. I didn't accuse my boss. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't plead. I asked calm questions, just for closure. I asked for a review of the evidence, the metadata, the submission dates, the original files, everything Lara had presented to him. He hesitated, and that hesitation was a confession. Because real evidence doesn't fall apart under inspection. Fabricated evidence does. I told him calmly that if I could see everything Lara had submitted, I could prove that I had done nothing wrong. And after a long pause, he gave them to me. Dave unraveled himself too. He texted me first, not to apologize, not to explain, just to test me. "If there's anything you want to tell me, now's the time." I said nothing. Silence makes liars nervous. 2 days later, he sent another message, contradicting the first. I saved it. Every word, every hesitation, every pattern. Because patterns matter. Setting the trap didn't take long. At work, it only took one meeting. That's all I needed. I invited HR, my boss, compliance, the board. I brought a folder. Inside it were the original voice notes, the edited versions, metadata proving the alterations, chat logs showing Lara coached the narrative, client records disproving every accusation. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. And I didn't beg. I let the evidence do the work. My boss was questioned by the board. "How did you let this happen? Why did you believe hearsay over a loyal employee? Why wasn't she given a chance to defend herself?" I sat there quietly as they spoke. And then, in the middle of the discussion, I stood up and I walked out. I didn't confront Lara immediately. People like her expect confrontation. They prepare for anger and they rehearse denial. What they don't prepare for is procedure. Once the board cleared my name, they asked one final question. How did this evidence even enter our system? I explained that the files submitted against me had been altered. That metadata showed external edits before submission. That the voice notes had been cut, merged, and re-exported. And that someone had knowingly falsified internal evidence. The room went quiet. Because falsifying evidence isn't gossip. It's misconduct. It's fraud. And in our industry, it's career-ending. You see, when you say things calmly like that, people start asking their own questions. Compliance stepped in after that. There was no drama or raised voices. They just started checking things. Who uploaded what? From where? Using which device? And slowly, everything started pointing back to Lara. Her work laptop, her personal phone, her IP address. She hadn't just lied. She had tampered with company records. Lara was called in to answer questions. She tried to stay calm at first. Then she tried to act confused. She said she was only trying to help. that she was protecting the company, that she never meant for things to go this far. Here's the thing about professional humiliation. It doesn't happen loudly. It happens in silence, in a room where no one interrupts you while you destroy your own credibility. And the problem with lies is, they don't age well. The more questions they asked, the more her story shifted, and everyone in that room could feel it. They asked her to step out. Just for a bit. She left her bag on the chair, her badge on the table. She never came back to that seat. By the end of the day, her access was gone. Her email stopped working. Her name quietly disappeared from internal systems. She was terminated. No announcement, no scene. But it didn't end there, because falsifying evidence doesn't just violate company policy. It violates the law. The company's legal team got involved. They informed her formally that she had compromised internal investigations. She had submitted falsified materials. She had caused reputational risk to the firm, and that they were not obligated to protect her. They were obligated to protect themselves. Her termination reason was documented carefully. Gross misconduct. Falsification of records. Breach of trust. Those words follow you, quietly, forever. Then came the part she never considered. References. Background checks. Industry whispers. When recruiters called, the company didn't lie. They didn't embellish. They simply confirmed the facts. And the facts were enough. Legal consequences followed. Letters from lawyers, explaining that her actions had caused financial and reputational damage, and that the company reserved the right to pursue recovery. She tried to negotiate, tried to apologize, tried to explain, but apologies don't undo evidence. I never spoke to Lara again. I didn't need to. Her career collapsed quietly. Her credibility evaporated, and her name became something people avoided. And the irony, she had tried to ruin my professional life, but instead, she taught everyone exactly who she was. I didn't humiliate her, expose her publicly. I didn't destroy her. I simply stepped aside and let the system she thought she could manipulate do what it was designed to do. As for Dave, I didn't give him closure. I didn't need explanations. I blocked him. Some people don't deserve final conversations. They deserve distance. I didn't ruin anyone's life. I didn't expose anyone online. I didn't scream or fight or beg to be believed. I simply stopped interfering with the consequences of their own choices. And when I finally walked away, I realized something. They never saw me coming, and that's why it worked.